Using the 1¼ inch pocket hole screws, it's time to attach the frame to the 2x4 top. With the frame attached, we'll now measure down 9 inches down from the top and 12 inches from the side. Find center and drill a 6-inch hole. Can also use a jigsaw here. I've seen some people use a router as well, but I purchased a hole saw and it works just fine for me. You want to be careful here, making sure it's clamped down real good, because there's a lot of torque on that 6-inch hole saw going through a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. Next, I use my router with a round over bit just to take off the rough edges from the top and the bottom. Here we're putting a nice edge on the bottom of the cornhole board as well. Back to sanding. There's just a ton of sanding involved in any woodworking project. So next up, we're going to work on the legs. So I'm just using a can of wood filler to round out the legs so they'll fold in and out of the box. Clamp down really good and use a jigsaw to cut out the half circle there. Eventually, I'd like to get a bandsaw and make this process a lot easier. But a jigsaw, it works just fine. Take off the rough edges with some 60 grit sandpaper. Now here you want to measure down 1 3/4 inches from the top of the leg and 1 3/4 inches from the side of the leg, and drill a 7/16 hole to accommodate the 5/16 inch stainless steel bolts we're going to put in to attach them to the frame. And repeat the process for leg number 2. Now the leg's 12 inches, but we need an 11-degree angle on this leg to hold it up appropriately. So if you just cut straight at the 12-inch mark at 11 degrees, you'll end up with legs that work really well. I use here a 1/4 inch spacer to keep it away from the front of the boards, and then mark where I want to drill the holes in the board to accommodate the bolts for the legs. It's always a good idea to drill a small pilot hole first so you don't get any tear out. Drill from the inside out and then drill from the outside in. And it just makes it really clean. Although the carriage bolt will hide the hole altogether. Of course, more sanding prior to putting your bolts in. And here's 3-inch stainless steel bolts with washers and wing nuts. And I use stainless steel just because they last longer. They won't rust. And you can see that 11-degree cut we made on the miter saw worked out pretty well. Now here we're building the cornhole bag box that fits underneath the cornhole boards. It's a nice little feature. It keeps your cornhole bags with your cornhole game, which I've lost a couple of bags before, so that's why I decided to go ahead and take the extra time to build a bag, or build a box. So I drilled a couple of pocket holes on each end of the support pieces that attach to the sides, and that's the top lid there, which will be latched and hinged. Here I'm installing the 1 1/4 inch Kreg fasteners into the pocket holes. It also strengthens the cornhole boards a little bit as well. But it's just really nice having your bags right inside of your cornhole boxes or cornhole boards. Now for the real tedious part of the project, putting the little hinges on. This takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of patience, but if you just take your time and get through it, you'll have a really nice hinged, latched box to hold your bags. Moving on to the front latch now. Again, this is one of the more time-consuming parts of the project, but well worth it. So we have the top latch mechanism in place, and now we have to just install the bottom latch. And I believe that's the last screw. And there you go. The box is ready to roll. So here's some bean bags. We're tossing in the bean bag holder box. Close and latch, and we're good to go.